Really what it takes these days to make it happen.
We have art here from their school in our mediation room. I think what has been so significant and so profound about having this art here is when parents who come here in sometimes crisis and chaos and family disruption, perhaps family violence, issues of drugs or alcohol, really profound and significant problems of today, when they come here and they see art that children have done, it focuses their attention on what they should be focused on. They should be focused on the needs of their children. And this art, in a very subtle way, but also in a very profound way, focuses that attention. It makes the work here more pleasant, makes it more enjoyable. Particularly in a government building, people are just used to seeing blank walls, and it kind of catches your attention just because of that, I think. It has a place. It has a place here in court, it has a place in our lives, and I know it has a place in our schools. And it's had a good effect in our use of it. And I'm very grateful to Grizzly Hill and teachers there for having done this. And I hope other places and other schools will consider these efforts and use them as a model.
Messages of Hope was a project that as a community we got together, we had a fundraiser and we raised some money, and the children at the school made these beautiful cards.
The children here at the school have never experienced a hurricane, but they did the messages of hope for the families down there. They did as many cards as they could and poured their hearts and souls into them. And we were able to track one of the recipients of the money. She was able to come back here and talk to the children. And I think that connection, that physical connection between what they had done for someone and that person coming back to thank them was huge for me. I can imagine what it did for the children.
It was pretty incredible to see the kids just kind of get together and really care about someone that they didn't have any personal contact with or any strings attached to, just because they were good kids and they really wanted to help other people.
That is what we envision. Our children having a direct connection to the world around them, to their community, and to those people outside of their community, and just learning what that one-on-one connection can be, and that they can have a positive influence on the world. From this little tiny, tiny rural community, they can have a big influence.
Sharing art with children is the best thing, I think, that anybody can do. Being able to come in and talk to children, show them where I come from, show them what I do, my art, it gives me the opportunity to let them know that there's so many things to life and so many dreams and goals you can have. Children, they're it. They're the answer to everything. There's no flaws with them. I think that's what's great about teaching them art, is because there's no flaws in art.
Every year, the Gaden Monastery sends a small delegation of monks to tour the United States. We realize these men are unlike anyone our children have ever seen. They dress differently, they don't speak English, their behavior is a little different, and we wanted the children to be prepared for them.
The kids have made prayer flags, or we call them bear flags, for Grizzly Hill School, and they make stencils and then they decorate their school with them. And so just by doing this thing that the monks will recognize that's something from their culture, the kids are already participating in their culture. And so they're understanding something about that culture already by doing it. And I think that's what it's all about. It's about doing it, having a hands-on experience. And then they already know something, so that when they interact with this other person that's from a totally different land, they have a connection already. And those guests feel welcome also.
They incorporate their wishes for the world, which sometimes are peace, happiness, joy, wisdom, freedom. And our children usually perform for them, because when they come sharing their culture, they come sharing who they are by presenting their art. They play their music, they have a yak dance, and then our children perform for them. And they perform something that they believe that people who live in exile would like to hear about, like world peace or freedom. And the children usually sing a song for them. We have a big feast, and then they all play basketball. When they come to our school, it's not like they just come in and they have an assembly and they're out. They spend the whole day because they know they're really welcome.
So we did this play with the 4th grade kids, and it was a play about Bali, and it was called The Rice Fields of Bali. And the whole project was set up so that the performance of this play would coincide with a performance that we were presenting here of this Balinese gamelan from the Bay Area. A woman there who is an elderly lady who is a master teacher in Bali, and she was able to witness this young girl performing this dance. It was just the most amazing connection for this young girl, I think. She was able to perform this thing, which she just glowed, it's just amazing. And then afterwards, to have this woman who was an elder and a teacher in Bali and who had been coming to the United States to teach all of these people, for her to come up and she just gave her a big hug, and you have this great picture of them just embracing. And I just thought, this young girl is having this amazing experience with having this exchange, and I could just see that she just felt so good about herself, So that just really stands out in my mind still as just a beautiful moment, and I think a really profound experience for this young girl, and an opportunity for her to really shine in front of not only her peers and her parents and her community members, but also in front of someone who she didn't even know, but became an instant friend from across the world. I don't even think they spoke. They just it's just really, so that's the kind of thing I love, to see that kind of connection.
Those years when we've done a really good job of place-based education, including the arts, those kids who participated in that's what they remember more than almost anything else.
It makes me a better teacher in terms of when I can take something that I have been mandated to teach and I can teach it through an artistic way.
When you're studying the history of different styles of music, it provides a richer, more full idea of what was going on during that time in that place.
Today's was a tie-in with the Northwest Indians. Just the fact that the kids were doing the artwork that was in a similar style to what the Indians would use really helped them to hook in when I was talking about these two cultures.
We read a book called Galimoto, which is about little children in Africa who make toys from just little bits and pieces that they find lying around. I had some very inventive boys who started doing that, and they would say, "Look at my Galimoto."
We were talking about growing cycle for seeds and plants. And so we acted it out, and what comes next, and what are we going to do next with our bodies, and what part of the dance will come next. And so finding out if the kids, if they're going to act like a little seed or a pumpkin that's growing, if they're going to know what happens next with their bodies. And so I use that all the time.
So it gives them a chance to blossom and show what they can do when they otherwise might go through a day and not feel very successful with traditional academic subjects.
There are a lot of patterns in music, so